And we're live, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are. All right. Welcome, everybody, to the imho.love show. I'm Lou Angelwolf, Mike Murburg. Happy to see you on the 14th of July, 2021. 7/14 today, Mike.
Yeah, 7/14/21. It's the year of the Quaalude.
Quaalude.
Quaalude, man.
After your second one's a Quaalude.
The Quaalude, right? Yeah, I took one of those things once.
Oh.
Oh yeah. After I got totally drunk out of my mind with like one pill, I felt like fighting the world. It's crazy stuff, man.
They were the easiest way to, if you never took a Quaalude or
Quaalude, man.
If you never took one, it made you feel like a grape suspended in gelatin. I had a friend, Bob Lewicki, and he used to have on Saturdays he had what they call biscuits and gravy.
Oh wow.
Quaaludes and 16-ounce Pabst Blue ribbons.
Ooh.
See you later, Bob.
Biscuits and gravy. Oh man.
Talk about in the couch.
Yeah, right. Well, that's why, human beings should not take horse tranquilizers.
No, we shouldn't.
Yeah.
It's just a thing. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. imho.love, in my humble opinion, .love. Like I quoted today on Facebook, there are no facts, there's just interpretations, according to Friedrich Nietzsche. But Mike quickly proved me
what
wrong.
does he know? Yeah, exactly. It's like, he was smart, but he wasn't like the Pope.
Well, he's much revered.
Yeah, he is.
So,
but people don't call him on his game.
Well, there are facts, and I guess you do have to throw math. There are mathematical facts.
There's also facts. He's dead. That's a fact. He's physically dead. That's a fact. He's buried. That's a fact.
Okay.
He wrote books. That's a fact.
Okay.
Okay.
But there's always that slight element of doubt. Maybe what you heard, maybe what you saw, isn't real.
Nobody lives past 200. But you don't get quantum on me, dude.
Way too early for quantum, bro.
It's like we're talking about Nietzsche in the third dimension. We're not going Nietzsche beyond. It's
Well, I still like the interpretation and opinion part of it. Well, because that's the name of the show, in my humble opinion, or actually it's in our humble opinion. And I think where I was directing that more was towards the latest news stories and media output that these guys present as facts and settled science. That's a new irritating pair of words.
Yeah.
It's probably not new, but it's overused these days.
Well, what gets me, though, is that all the science that we're getting is coming from, materialists, and hardly any of the science we're getting comes from people that use consciousness as the primary basis for reality. So we're all dancing in a land of fantasy, listening to all these scientists who are government scientists,
right?
Yeah, who use this all the time,
They use air quotes more than Seinfeld.
Air quotes, right. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
And so it's important for you to know your own internal truth and stick by your guns.
Well, I think, Mike, I got to tell you, just from the people I've been meeting and the conversations I've been having, there's a lot of people waking up. There's a lot of people that, it even stopped making sense for many of my friends that never contemplated these things. They were just happy workaday guys, but it's really starting to get to them now. All the inequalities, all the lopsidedness of stories, all the uncheckable facts, all the hype, and all the LeBron Jamesisms of the world. You know?
Yeah. You know, it's too bad Larry Bird didn't get to the height of LeBron James to have an ism named after him.
LeBron Jamesism.
Jamesism, you know.
He's just, you know, but, you know, he's the poster boy for this era for them. He's the maximum materialist, ego beyond human realm.
Yeah.
And what's happening is a lot of people are just going, you know, I myself, I don't care what he does. His life doesn't affect me directly.
I don't follow baseball either.
Ah! So, but just this admiration of his gross arrogance is disturbing.
Well, you know, it's funny. Did you see we had the who's the Japanese player whose name I can't pronounce, who doesn't speak English, and he knocked a 468 foot home run before the All-Star game.
Right.
Think back a ways. Let's go back to the year of 1942. You know,
Yep.
The Japs had bombed Pearl Harbor. We're at war with the world, and then somebody comes to tell you. That says, hey, you know, in 2021, there's a Japanese guy who's playing for the Yankees, and he hits a 468-foot home run.
And you'd go, sure, buddy.
It's like, are you from the future? It's like, yeah,
We'd have never believed it.
It's like, yeah, all right, well, that's the way it goes.
Well, you know, we often talk of the world being all one thing, and all people being one giant living organism.
Yeah, you're right.
So the fact that we've all filtered into each other's countries like this, and there are people, there's some beautiful souls in the world, man. There's just some really wonderful people.
Yeah, like Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan.
I love him.
He announced today that he wanted to become a member of the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party. And they basically said, I don't think we want you. It's like, here's a guy that blows his career to Americans by wanting to be a member of the Chinese Communist Party, and they don't want him.
Should have checked first.
He should have checked first.
Should have whispered
Jackie,
something to somebody.
Jackie, who do you think you are, Bruce Lee? No.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this show, imho.love, we're coming to you live from the Darby Ranch, Area 52. We had a CE5 experience last Saturday night, which was absolutely tremendous. We'll go into that in just a minute. We call this Area 52 because this is a blessed little land here. We get extraterrestrial visits and sightings and metaphysical appearances, and
It's not the land, it's the people.
it's true. It's true. Yeah.
It's the people. You know, it's strange occurrence today.
But there's a kiss on this land too.
Yeah, well, I think the people bring it there, but
Okay.
or it could be both. I'm not ruling anything out. But this morning I got up, and we had a member of the group. It's over at like 409 people are now. This is our membership.
409.
409. Everybody loves the 409.
Sure.
But in about 6:30 in the morning, I had to go into the dining room, and there was a plate that one of these members gave me a few years ago. And something really strange happened to her out in the field. She tripped and fell when there was nobody out there, and something caught her before she hit the ground.
Whoa.
So she never hit the ground.
Really?
Yeah, and that freaked her out. This before we went out there, and
That would freak me out too.
Yeah, it did. So she never came back, and she was a really great asset. And
So she hit this miraculous rebound and went home?
yeah, she did. She got in her car.
It blew her away,
and
huh?
Blew her away.
Oh.
And this morning I walked into the dining room, and she'd given me a serving plate that matched the tablecloth, you know.
Nice.
And she just said, "Yeah, this belongs in here more than it belongs in my house. So here, please keep it. Please have it." And I looked at it, and it occurred to me. I said, "You know, she belongs out here more than this plate does."
Yes.
It was a very, very strong feeling. Hadn't thought of her for a long, long time. And then I made coffee and breakfast, and then I sat down, and just as I sat down, she was emailing me asking, can I come back as a member?
Wow.
Yeah, so this is a wonderful universe.
There's
we
all
live
kinds
in.
of there's all kinds of stuff swimming around.
Yeah.
And ladies and gentlemen, if you're wondering how two lost polar bears wound up doing a video cast in Central Florida in 2021 in 86-degree heat
in a barn.
in a barn
in Dade City, Florida.
in Dade City, Florida. You can't make up a story like this.
Right.
But many years ago, I returned from living in Texas for a couple years, which I really enjoyed. I lived in Fort Worth, and I also lived in Austin. Love the people out there, just fabulous. Just real Texans, man. You guys are awesome. And when I came back, I was staying with my sister Michelle, who has been an angel in my life time and time again, and me, hers as well. I got up, I was awakened in the middle of the night, and I was given this writing. And this is the original one. It's called the Pacifist Riot. And if you've been watching the show when it was Lutopia, we did this several times, a couple times here with imho.love. But this is the core of what started this movement, and this is what moved me to get hold of Chris Gorgeous, who at the time was running a recording studio in Clearwater. We started doing the show. Mike came in a few months after we were doing the show, and after his second appearance, I go, dude, let's do this every week. And we've been doing it for a long, long time. So we're well over 4 years now with the show, Lutopia, and then parlaying into imho.love. But this is the Pacifist Riot, and there's three personalities. There's people that know my real name. There's Angelwolf, and there's a writer that I channel. His name is Sandal Bastriani, and Mr. Bastriani was awakened this July back in 2014 and given these words. I don't want to sound too trippy, and I don't want to try to seem too humble. It was me that wrote this. And it's a good piece, but I really do. I open up and I just take what flows through. Yes, it's me, but yes, it's not me. So, boy, this better be good. So,
Why don't you turn the light on? Make sure you can read it.
oh, that's gonna be helpful. How about that?
There you go.
Look at this, Hollywood. Okay, and this is, like I said, this is the core of the show. The thread that's run through all the shows, and it's my heart. Mike agrees with me. In fact, he wrote the edited version that you can find on the website. The Pacifist Riot by Sandal Bastriani. I want to start a pacifist riot, a gentle, non-physical riot fought with a loving spirit. Neutralize your mind to a quiet, peaceful place. Stay there and enjoy the oneness with all things. Start leaning into love. Start embracing the beauty of the stillness, the wonder of spirit and nature. Think of the blooming flower and the sparkling sunshine as nature's purest expression of love. Think of nature and love blooming together and a stillness that comes over the oneness. Picture all things being healed, broken hearts mended, and lessons learned. Think of weeping eyes turning to joy, the hungry being fed, and the naked clothed. Visualize love in people's eyes, relaxed bodies, and the calm of a welcome hug. Laughter in the air, trust and kindness all around. Think of the violent and hateful extremists wrapped in love, blanketed by peace and grace, neutralizing and freeing the fear from their minds and hearts. Receiving the blessing of peaceful people everywhere. Visualize the warming of hearts, the accepting of grace, and the dropping of weapons. The human mind is the most powerful thing, and moving with this kind of energy in its purity is a power of global proportion. Should the kind-hearted, loving people of this earth reach inside themselves and share the peace within them and imagine a serene world, it will change things. It will change things for the good. It is the only lasting truth that love heals all. Pour out your love, warm your heart towards peaceful ways, and enjoy the benefit of a peaceful mind. This world needs this energy. Let us have a pacifist riot every day, quietly changing the world. And that was me in 2015, up in my sister's house in Port Richey.
When you were still a boy.
Just a puppy then.
Just a boy.
Had no idea the depth of my awakening that was to come. And I'm very, very grateful for it all. Last Saturday night on the 10th, it was the 10th, right? Yeah. No?
Yeah, it was 10th. Yeah.
We had a large group out there. I had a show. I had comedy shows this weekend. I had 2 in Sarasota at McCurdy's with Ron Feingold and Tim the Dairy Farmer. Tim the Dairy Farmer is actually a real dairy farmer.
Wow.
I've never met a comedian with a better handshake.
Oh, yeah.
He's been working them udders, brother.
Yeah.
Anyway, funny shows. We did 2 shows. And then zoomed back to Clearwater. And then Saturday, came here, cut the grass. Then we went down to Punta Gorda, did a show down there, jumped back in the car, and we got here in time to join in the second half. We got here around, it was after midnight.
Yeah, it was just about midnight, yeah.
So, one of the privileges and honors that I have in this loosely knit organization, we have an opening prayer.
It's a confederacy.
Confederacy of dunces.
Confederacy of contactees.
Yes, the Island of Misfit Toys.
There you go.
That's coming up. So, anyway, I get here. People have taken their first break, and everybody's getting ready to head back to the fire. It was what, 33?
Yeah, there are 33 here. Only 28 were like invited, but we have people like show
That
up.
just show up, right?
It's like
That's
it's okay.
casual.
It's okay as long as we got parking spaces. You can stay here. Yeah.
Well, anyway, it's my privilege to do the second meditation, and just a wonderful peace was over the crowd. We talked about the Fire the Grid 2. That's FIRETHEGRID, the number 2, firethegrid2.org. That's coming up next Monday. We're at the eastern part of the United States here, so it will be at 7:11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All this is hinged upon Greenwich Mean Time at 11:11. So, and what this is a global outreach just to other human beings, whatever level you're at, for 1 hour. 7:11 here, 6:11 Central, 5:11 Mountain, 4:11 Pacific. In that hour, all we're asking you to do is have fun. Just have fun, create some joy, whatever it is that you like to do. If you like to knit, if you like to paint, if you like to weld, if you like to ride your bike, if you like to, I don't know, shampoo carpet, whatever it is that you enjoy, whatever brings you happiness, do it for that whole hour.
And if you shampoo carpet, please come here and do it.
We got work for you here at the ranch. There's some shampooing needing carpets around here.
Yeah.
So, like I said, that's July 19th, Monday coming. Okay, July 19th, 7:11 Eastern, and on back. 11:11 Greenwich Mean Time. So wherever you're at, you know, I kind of localize the show in my head, but the imho.love show gets watched all over the world. We have, you know, people in Tasmania watching the show. We have people in Kosovo watching the show. Finland, Belgium. It's all beautiful, man.
Yeah.
I love this part of it. So anyway, I was blessed to give the second meditation and outreach to our extraterrestrial family, because that's what it's about. We relax. We get into a meditative state, just being open and opening your heart, opening your care,
and actually opening the skies too. Because what happened was just about 11:45. We had it was a very overcast night, so there was nothing you could see above the clouds,
right?
And there wasn't a lot of activity. And then all of a sudden, there was a cloud portal that opened up on the
northwest
west side of the property that covered us as well. So it gave us a really great viewing space for the next hour and a half.
Right.
So.
And for those of you that are just learning about this, CE5 is Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, which is a little bit of an inaccurate description, but we go with it because it's popular.
Yeah, because people it's like training a dog. Once it learns how to shake with its left hand, it will never shake with its right.
I know.
It's
damn dogs.
Human beings the same way.
But actually, the phrase that I like better is HICE, which is human-initiated contact experiences, because that's really what it is. It is human-initiated contact experiences with our extraterrestrial friends, families.
And human-initiated consciousness evolution.
Yes, there's that too.
So,
I like that as well.
Yeah, it's all, yeah.
The consciousness evolution, baby. Oh, wait, my tail's shrinking. Anyway, so what we do is we get into a meditative state, we open up our hearts, we offer our love, we offer our last traces of innocence that we came here with, the organic innocence that we showed up here with when we were just babies. And we've been having extraordinary blessings with the craft showing up after our outreach. It's happened the last 2 months in a row, like minutes after the outreach. And we pray for this like vortexical energy to rise from the center of the circle. We have a little bonfire going there, and everybody's in their innocence, everybody's in their love, and we send this up. And we're not looking, you know, contact, sure, as much as you want. Just a wink, a nod, whatever. But this particular one was very good and very bright. And by the way, Linda got pictures of it on her camera. So she's getting that processed and moved around and shrunk down to share.
Yeah, that's great. Everybody always wants proof, but you know, it happens so quickly that there's no time to get your camera and point it. It happens.
Yeah, it almost has to be. It almost has to come into frame.
Almost by chance, or come into frame because the frame is there, they know where it is, and they give it to you by their intent.
And our dear friend Sue said it was the best sighting that she's ever had. So she's had a few.
Okay, good.
So
that's good to know.
So Mike, myself, these are all beautiful things. And this particular style, like the month before, we had like a silver skipping stone across the sky that was absolutely beautiful. And this month was a series of flash bulbs, and very, very impressive.
Yeah, and a lot of people didn't see what I saw. We had one come through the northern sky as well. 3 of us saw it, and then that was just before the array of flash bulbs that happened after that.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's
well, they're zooming around. Out
everybody
there.
saw that. That was a big one for everybody.
Everybody saw, for a group sighting, so many people to see the same thing.
Everybody saw it.
Really, really beautiful. And what it does is we're not like goofy UFO hunters. There's no reality show happening here. This is a very, very organic movement. The show is not monetized. The show isn't edited. This is raw footage. Mike and I shoot it once. Very little scripting. Mostly stream of consciousness, because we kind of live this stuff. So it's easier for us to share it than somebody preparing a program. So in that vein, what we're doing is we're inviting people from wherever you come. People come from hours around. People come from across town. Once a month when there's no moon, and we have a little potluck dinner. We have some nice conversation. We have all kinds of beautiful communications. And then we go out to the field and we sit in our zero gravity recliners, and we have prayer, we have meditation, we have, some people fall asleep, whatever. There's no real wrong way to do it.
Yeah.
But if you're sleeping, you're gonna miss it. But if you're tired, relax. But there's also that calming energy of being in that group, man. You got 28, 33, 36, however many people show up. You have that many peaceful souls in an area exchanging energies left to right, right to left.
Well, it's actually more than that. We've started doing these things. We get out to the field 8 o'clock, 8:30, but we start gathering at about 5 o'clock or 5:30, and then people bring food, they bring things to drink, they bring things to share, and many and all bring their own stories of contact, and there's always a lot of new people at these things. There's always some, the regulars in the core group, but what happens is that one of the reasons I started it was to allow contactees to talk about their experiences with other contactees.
Yes.
And there are also people that, of the, UFO hunter ilk, the MUFON variety guys, who come up here expecting one thing, and then they realize that it's not what they expected. It's not the nuts and bolts. It's not the flying saucers. Although they get a chance to, integrate with the group and speak and get to hear other people that have made contact.
Yes.
So we spend like 2 or 3 hours just talking and getting to know each other and listening to each other.
Yes.
And what that does is it binds a group so that, I say, to listen is to love, and to love is to listen.
Yes.
So what happens is, over that time, by the time we get out to the field, we're already, bonded as a group. We already have listened. We've been patient. We understand, and we exercise, love and compassion and acceptance. So by the time we get out to the field, we got all the difficult work done. We've gotten the egos out of the way. Everybody who has something they think they need to say has a chance to say it, and everybody gets to know each other's stories and where they come from and what they do and how they relate to this phenomenon. And then by the time we get out to the field, it's very simple. And one of the things that I said in the prayer that night was essentially the Pushkin's eulogy to Dostoevsky at Dostoevsky's funeral. I kind of borrowed from it and said, "May the love and compassion that unites us here tonight be the same love and compassion that binds us to the extraterrestrials and interdimensional beings that we seek and ask to join us here." And that's kind of a universal prayer. I mean,
yes.
we've been changing what we've managed to do is we've taken all the rules over the course of 5 years and basically thrown out all the orthodoxy of the protocols and reinvented it ourselves so that it works in such a way so that contact has been democratized and the ritual has been simplified, so that what we do is have very honest and open and easy contact.
Damn it! I just ordered daggone hats for us.
Oh well,
I'm what am I gonna do with my giant fish hat?
Well, I'm sorry. But the thing is that you do a great healing meditation, and
thank you.
I'm honored to have you to do it so well.
It's a privilege.
Yeah, you put some thought into it too. So everybody bonds with that and binds with it, and after they're bonded to it, lifting that consciousness up and asking the entities to make contact is easy, and it just always seems to work. It's actually funny sometimes too, because I've seen you do the meditation, and just as you're getting ready to sit down, you turn around, all of a sudden there's a craft that shows itself up behind you. You never get to see it because you've turned around and are heading towards your gravity chair, but it's there, and then it takes off. Everybody else is wowed by it, but it's not uncommon for that to happen.
But the last 2 months have been like this really weird timing.
Yeah, E.T.'s been listening to you.
I finish.
Yeah.
I turn around, I go back and sit in my chair. Now, apparently they're going, hey, we were coming too quick, you couldn't see us. Yeah. But I've seen the last two, like, pow, pow, pow.
Yeah.
And that's such a blessing because, I approach it as Taoistly as I can. If it happens, fantastic. If it doesn't happen, this is still fantastic. The people and the energy and the love that they bring out there to that field is, man, you just can't, you don't find people like that, know? And
nor do you find people that actually have the orbs in their hands and move them around.
Kim Domke, man.
That photograph she got, I remember watching her do this, and I can't see them, and I'm going, what's going on here? There are others who could. So there are people with visual spectra that are wider and deeper than ours are.
The lady with the nails.
Nails, yeah. Shar.
She was there watching Kim manipulate this orb. I'm telling you, it looked like a Doug Henning. I'm dating myself there.
Yeah.
Like
isn't he dead?
I don't know. I don't think he made it. Like a David Copperfield parlor trick. But she's got this orb floating within her hands, and they're taking pictures of it. I mean, this thing isn't flying away. This is an energy orb, and we have some really, really interesting, powerful people that are coming out regularly. And and I absorb their energy. They absorb my energy. We listen to each other's words. And folks, I got to tell you, this is where it's all going. All my life, I've known I was supposed to carry some kind of message. I did a pretty long time within Christianity, and then I went into Messianic Judaism, and then I went into the New Age thing, and then I just kept moving. Some say evolving, some say digressing. But the thing that kept me going or kept me moving in separating directions was it needed to be bigger. The more I studied religions, I found out they were making things smaller. They were making the admittance into their exclusive club even smaller. And I, as the same creator that made a coconut in Africa and a dolphin in Tampa Bay and is birthing a baby right now in Lakeland, I know that's not the scoop, man. You don't get this little narrow thing. You don't, I mean, that's a manipulation. This is all one thing. We're all one giant organism. And the faster we learn to love on one another and tolerate each other, the better the world's going to be. But consequently, there's the darker side of things that are driven by ego, greed, and power that constantly trip us up. Because of our humanity, we relate to these temptations. But what we're doing out here every month, and what Mike and I try to translate here during the week, when we do a show on Wednesday night at 7:30, we start it live on Facebook Live, and then Kathy McGuire, our wonderful editor, she gets it put up on BitChute, and it's on YouTube, Podbean, and of course the mothership is imho.love. You can communicate with us there while we're talking about communication. If you're interested in a CE5, there is some, you can't just stroll up, like a roadside carnival and grab a seat. We kind of want to know who you are. We kind of want to know what your intentions are. and where your head's at, your heart's at. And believe me, we're not judgmental, but there's certain people looking for certain avenues of entertainment that we don't provide. That's all, and we're just trying not to waste everybody's time. So if you go to, send an email to Darby Ranch CE5 at gmail.com. That's DARBYRANCHCE, the number 5, at gmail.com. Mike will get that, okay? And then he'll direct you to the meetup page, and there you can download the protocols. The protocols are something you need to know about what it is, what we're doing here. We're not trying to become an exclusive club, but we definitely are conscious of the energy that our people bring. And like I said, we're not looking for that carnival side. It's not that's the furthest thing from our intention. There's no money being exchanged here. This is a very grassroots movement of loving energies that we don't care what you do with this show. Like it, share it, send it, ship it, email it, download it onto a CD, make a coaster out of it. We really don't care what you do with it. Just we're making a permanent digital record of our thoughts, our ideas. That's why we date the shows, so you can kind of say, well, this happened then, and we were talking about this then, and it wound up moving up here. So we're pretty aware of an ever-changing world, and I see people reaching past the church these days, mostly because of their policies and their politics. I see people seeking something more genuine, something less materialistic, something more spiritually full, something that's hard to alter. And because we are the way we are, you can come in here with some ideas that we've never heard before, and they could be great ideas. So we don't, if you're not hurting anybody, help ever, hurt never. If you do these things in love, do no harm, chances are you're fine. But like we said, we do want to know what's going on. So, hopefully if we're what you're looking for, come home. But if you're looking for other things, there's other things. So, but like I said, my name's Lou Angelwolf. This is Mike Murburg. And this is the imho.love show. We named the show the Island of Misfit Toys because if you remember the old Christmas puppet thing was that Sid and Marty Krofft? No. Oh, I should have got. I love the artist's name on that. It wasn't Sid and Marty Krofft. They did HR Puff and stuff. But everybody knows the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer story, and one of the subplots of that movie was where all the toys that didn't get built quite to spec. It's where they wound up, on the Island of Misfit Toys. And I definitely look around that circle once a month and go, they have gathered here.
Yeah, but they all have superpowers.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like,
but misfits in the most wonderful way.
And that's yeah.
As a uniqueness, not a weirdness.
No, it is what it is.
Yep.
And if you build it, they will come. So it must have been one element intent that I put out there to do this, because we have some extraordinary human beings. We have people that remote view regularly. We have people that, like I said, they balance orbs in their hand. They bring them on in. We have had so much happen out here over the course of 4 years. I used to document it all, which is nice that we're talking about it on the show now. Because
we are documenting it.
Yeah, right in there. But I don't have to write it.
Yeah, I don't have to write it on.
But it has been extraordinary in every way, shape, or form. I mean, what you end up doing is you take, you're talking about churches and confining everything indoors, and everybody gets this idea that God lives inside a church. And then you come here and then you realize that it's God lives outside the church. He's there too, but the outdoors is a lot bigger.
Yeah.
You know, and you can't confine the almighty power that connects it all, that is all, that we're all part of. You know, I call it Tao, you call it Tao. But, you know, it's amazing. And so if you think you're a little out of whack, and, you know, you might not know why, and if you've had prior contact experiences especially, this might be something you might want to look into, because you're not crazy. This is real. It's happening. And this literally are the microns at the point of the spear that is, you know, leading, you know, the charge into intergalactic generations that will follow, of which the Earth is going to be a part. I know that sounds kind of woo-woo, but you know, there are plenty of groups on Facebook that talk about this stuff.
Yes.
And they talk endlessly, and they backbite, and they nip, and they do all kinds of very awful things, exclusive things. You know, they're
the MUFON Battle Royal.
Well, yeah, but then you have the cultists, or the Greer followers. You know, look, Greer's got his place, but I'm not a cultist. You know,
right?
I mean, you know, to some degree,
we're the anti-cultists.
Right, and to some degree, you know, he gets a lot of credit, but he also gets some degree of credit for the meetup, because when I created the meetup, this thing pops up, you know, Ambassadors to the Universe. I was like, hey, that sounds cool. Let's try that. You know, and then, you know, find out like a year later, it was a Greer invention, you know. Okay. So thank you very much for doing that. But then again, it's also a data mining source, so they have access, you know, wherever that, you know, program is, they have access to, right, you know, things that, you know, they wouldn't ordinarily have access to, like the number of people we have, you know,
right
here. But
and of special interest there too.
Right, yeah, be that as it may. But you know, if you build it and you want to attract the kind of people that attracts wonderful people, and we also have another. I've agreed to another film crew to come out here to do that. Somebody I love and respect very much, and hopefully we'll have them. I know we'll have them on the show.
Canadian guys?
No, I can't announce it at this point.
Okay.
But yeah, some really
those guys were cool.
They were, but once again, the intent was, let's film this and see if we can film some UFOs, as opposed to let's film this group and see what happens with the group, and if the UFOs show up, that's great, you know. So the intent is to film the group and to get to know the group, and you know, flesh out what happens in a successful CE5 organization, and then and bring that forth. And it also dovetails with studies in consciousness as well.
Yes.
So you know, all that is happened as a consequence of just simply us getting together and say, hey, let's form a group.
Well, it really is that simple. It's that organic. Like I said, there's no dues, there's no admission, there's no, you know, I mean, you want to bring a green bean casserole?
Yeah, really, yeah.
$7 in that, I guess.
You know, fruit and vegetables, you know, always welcome.
Yeah, fresh fruit. Yeah, that's
it.
Yes.
You know.
And, boy, Amanda brought that cake again.
Yeah.
I'm glad she's back. Girl, yeah, I'm glad she's back too. She's a good chick. But, and forgive me, I don't mean to mean chick. She's a chick.
She's a wonderful female human.
Who lives wonderful female human, okay. Who apparently lives on the way to this incredible bakery with the best bundt cakes on the planet. And I've had a few bundt cakes. These things are off the charts. In fact, I skip a meal during the week because I know I'm going to have a piece of
bundt cake. Yeah. Yeah. They're foodies up here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm almost down 40 pounds, Buck.
Wow. Yeah, you look it.
I feel good. My energy's good. Getting fantastic sleep.
Good.
Doing some really lucid dreaming. This thing I wear around my neck was given to me by Beth Snyder, who's a wonderful hypnotherapist down in the Sarasota area. She was on the show for the first year and a half or so. And lovely lady. And this is a little pendant that I wear. to help me achieve lucid dreaming. I don't know how much effect it actually has on me, whether it's what do they call it, placebo.
Well, you can ask yourself in the next lucid dream.
Well, here's the thing. The other night, I do meditation, and then I let my body come to rest, and I move the parts of my body and release them, and then I try to settle in for sleep, and I go into this like tweener, it's like not sleep, it's not wake, okay, and they're vivid, their colors are big, and it looks like I call it Salvador Dali cartoons sometimes. But this one was a bright green lawn and nice and trim, all edged, sidewalks. And all of these old hand tools were out on the lawn. And it was like 20 feet by this way and like 40 feet by this way, full of these old hand tools. It was attached to a house. But I had a glimpse of it for a while, and then Linda, who is a hypnotherapist as well. There must be something about our group. I ran the elements by her, and what she was talking about was, at this stage in my life, the green grass represents care and love. The old tools are an extension of your hands and your imagination, and just that what I'm preparing to do, I'm completely equipped to do. Mm-hmm. So I really took that to heart, and it was really, really beautiful. It may be accurate, it could be off, I don't know. I always leave that variable in there because it is imagination, it is a drifting of consciousness. So I'm not, I don't stomp my feet and say you must believe me. You can or you cannot. That doesn't even matter to me, whether you believe it or not. I'm just relaying what I saw.
I had a vivid dream last night.
Did you?
Yeah, and I still remember it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was hanging out with a gal pal of mine who I've known for years,
Uh-huh.
and we were like in Wyoming, and she lived there, and she still had horses. And she had to take care of her kids, so we went inside of her house. She also had to wait for her probation officer to get there.
Nice.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, what do I do? So I take a look behind the house, and there's like a mountain. It's not a real gigantic mountain, but it's big enough. So I go, okay, well, I'll climb the mountain, see what's on top. So I climb the mountain. As I'm getting towards the top, I find sliced pieces of granite, and I'm going, like whose kitchen is this anyway? And I get past the granite and I get up to the top of the hill, and I realize there are bulldozers up there, and they're pushing around like wood and dirt. And then I look over and I see that somebody has created sculptures there, and I got a real close look at them. It was rather wonderful. What they'd done is they'd taken telephone poles, and then they'd welded stainless steel cuffs and sleeves with bolt holes and bolts. And then they created these sculptures out of telephone poles that were kept together with knit metal, stainless steel,
like collars and
sleeves. Yeah,
wow.
And these were immense. They were like 14, 15, 20, 25 feet tall. So if I ever get around to doing this, it was a great idea. And then I came down from the mountain, and everything was good. But it was like, wow. That's a great idea. I wish I could, do something like that. That'd be, kind of cool. So
you can do a miniature version of it. I think they still make Lincoln logs.
Yeah, but it takes away the effects. I'd rather
let it be big and
well,
real.
It's like out here, It's like
you got room.
Well, I got room, but I got an in for the poles. I had one of the kids I used to coach in high school. He owns a dock building business, and when you're out on the Gulf, you have to use marine quality telephone poles, and that's why I don't have regular poles along the roadway here. Those are marine quality, 12-inch.
Yeah, they're wild.
Yeah, they're sunk 4 feet into the ground. They're like, this is the The fence out here is
This is the most overbuilt place.
It's built to hold in dinosaurs. It's like Jurassic Park is a little bit ahead, but I mean the fences are 5.5, 6 feet tall, blah blah blah. But needless to say, I do have an in for the telephone poles. Now all I need is the money and the steel and somebody to weld the sleeves
auger.
for me. And, well, I got an auger.
You got an auger?
Yeah, the back
of
of the
course you
tractor.
do. Of course you do. Why would you not have an auger?
Which size do you want? I got a 10, an 8, and a 4, Just let me know.
Right. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, so
it's a ranch.
Well, that's a great dream and a very vivid recollection.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it was really cool. Except that in reality, she doesn't have any kids, and to my knowledge, she's never been on probation. So there was some poetic license.
With as strange as the world is today, ankle bracelets could come into fashion.
Yeah. Well,
you know what I mean? You're not cool unless you got an ankle bracelet on.
And a tattoo under it. So, born to lose.
One of the stranger I've been looking at tattoos. My dad had tattoos, so I always noticed tattoos. And there's some beauties out there. There's some people that have really spent a lot of time, money, effort, thought, prayer, meditations, and gotten some beautiful skin art.
Yeah, but if you get a tattoo, unless you've been a concentration camp victim, you'll never be able to get buried in a Jewish cemetery.
Always a deterrent.
And it's kept me away from it. I know. But you're not Jewish. Well,
right.
Yeah, I can always change my mind.
But still,
I don't want
if I wanted to.
Exactly. I don't want to be excluded because I did something with my body,
I was on tour, and I was riding a bus doing stand-up back in the 90s. I'm riding a bus from Kansas City, Missouri to Denver, Colorado. And
that's a long ride.
That's a long bus. It was 32 hours or something.
I've been there,
bus.
been there, done that.
Okay.
Got to brace.
And and the buses stop all along the way.
Yeah.
It's kind of a local run, actually.
Yeah, just enough to wake you up from your sleep whenever that was happening.
Yeah, that old Eric Johnson song, "The 40-Mile Town."
Mm-hmm.
That's when they go 40 miles. Next thing you know, stop it again. And this dude obviously had been recently released from incarceration. Just the things he was talking about, and just his general energy, which was amplified by some sort of narcotic. I don't know what it was. But the guy had on this part of his arm, right here, in the jailhouse pen and ink type of tattoo. And it was supposed to say, "Crazy as a shithouse rat."
Yeah.
Okay? But they didn't spell house right. And it said, "Crazy as a shit hose rat." And this guy, and he's riding along like this behind me, and I keep looking back, and I see him, and I look like 5 times. I go, "Did they misspell his?" And of course, it was very amateur looking,
Yeah.
And but I've always had a soft spot for septic tank services ever since.
The guy who,
So.
And the shithose rat is the guy with the shovel that works with the driver.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's the guy that doesn't get to drive.
Right, exactly. He gets the shovel. He gets to get down there and find the hole. Yeah, that's.
How many times a day?
There could be some truth to that thing.
He could. Maybe it was a shithose rat.
We can look it up. I'm sure it's on Google. But and when I was a kid growing up, the guy that used to sell drugs down at the park, he had the tattoo across his back, "Born to Lose." It's like, dude, you're 23 years old. You just got out of prison. You're still selling pot down at the park.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not a good plan.
You're not arguing your case.
That's right.
Yeah. Wow. How are we doing on time, Mike?
Oh, we're running out. We got about 5 minutes left.
Okay.
So,
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the imho.love show. I'm Lou Angelwolf. That's Mike Murburg. We're here every Wednesday at 7:30, or we try to be most Wednesdays. We did have some travel plans for this month, but they got rescheduled. So we're going to be in town. I have a wonderful thing coming up.
yes.
Tuesday, I get to marry my friend John and his wife Jane down at McCurdy's Comedy Theater. I get to perform the ceremony.
It's a mitzvah.
It's, yes, it is. John is a comic, stand-up comic, really funny guy.
So at the end of it all, he's like, just kidding.
Psych. And big guy, kind of round,
Yeah.
but a great soul and a funny, very funny guy. Kind of like a reserved John Candy kind of a way.
Oh, man. Oh.
Okay, you'd love him. You'd love Johnny Hops. And he's marrying his love. Her name is Jane, and she's here from Nairobi, Kenya, and she speaks Swahili as well as English.
Oh, cool.
So I get to learn a little Swahili to do this the ceremony.
So next time you're trapped in the deepest part of the jungle and they're getting ready to boil you, you can tell them a joke and get out of it.
Actually, I'll know how to say, "You may kiss the bride," in Swahili. So, but anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I have a very, very charmed life. Thank you, everybody that's in it. I love you all. And some more than others. But I've just been blessed. My mom fell a couple of weeks ago. She's slowly getting better. We had to take her to the hospital the other day. This getting old is, she's 82. She doesn't move around much. So that's starting to take a toll on her.
You know what they say about the elderly in Nepal is getting old is for the birds.
It is. So if you have elderly parents, do encourage them to move around. My mom would not be hurting as much as she is now if she had kept some sort of exercise. Like, I know she hurts. I know it's painful. I know there was COVID last year and we weren't supposed to go outside, which is such a crock of shit. So keep my mom, in your prayers, and we appreciate that. And y'all have prayed for her so many times.
Well, word for the wise. I had a client, and I represented her when she was 80, and she had tripped and fallen, and she broke a bone. And but she was in great shape, and we kept in touch for years after that. And her daughters, she had two nurses as a daughter, and the one was actually a cosmetician for mortuaries. I mean, people were dying to see her, but still, I asked one of the daughters, like, how did your mom, stay in such, great shape her entire life? She could actually outwalk me. We went to, went for a walk in Upper New York State to these high falls, and she just, totally outdistanced me. And she was like 86 or 87.
Wow.
So I asked her daughter, I said, how'd your mom stay in such great shape? And she goes, look, when she got to be 70, we bought her an exercycle, and we mandated that every day she'd be on that exercycle for an hour a day. Okay? And then, we just recently, in her mid-80s, cut her down to a half an hour a day because she got a little bit tired. But this woman, the exercycle for an hour a day, she was always on weight. Her muscle tone was fantastic. Her cardiovascular system was absolutely wonderful. Yeah, so, word to the wise is, you're going to retire, you have time, spend it, on an exercycle at least an hour a day. Do something else that's going to keep you up with that if you want to be, survive, and if you want to preserve your longevity. So,
yes.
Don't let it go to waste. Don't sit there. I mean, even if it's, they're guys that are 100 and their exercise is getting in and out of the chair 10 times a day.
So they go to the refrigerator.
So they can do it. so
Right.
they don't need any help to get in and out of a chair. So
Yes.
you know, you just if you don't use it, you're going to lose it. So let
Yeah.
that be a lesson to you. Oh, by the way, two things.
Okay.
Two articles that are posted on imho.love on Facebook. They have now discovered a massless particle that could revolutionize electronics. A massless particle. Thinking
Wow.
about that, it's almost like it is an oxymoron. And then there's an article I posted on an acoustic tractor beam that can grab objects from behind obstacles. Yeah, this stuff is like, you talk about science.
That's some space age shit. Bro.
That's some space age shit. Who says that we're not capturing these things and reverse engineering technology? So,
Or if we're nice to them, they'll just tell us.
yeah, they'll say, hey, you're peaceful human beings. It's time for you to enter into the club, and here's your 0 point energy. Just be kind to one another.
The narrative that they're here to hurt us, that they're here to take us out, that they're demons. I'll tell you this: if they wanted to, like that.
And I'm convinced they're Taoists.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's here's the thing that I'm tapping into as a human. I keep trying to raise my vibration just a little bit more, just a little bit more, just a little bit, and daily, just even if it's just a gradient. And because I'm cloaked and burdened with this human flesh, human emotions, a decaying body, all that stuff, the spirit within me has to grow a little, has to work a little harder to grow. Now, these people, our extraterrestrial families, their bodies have adapted to having the highest level of consciousness, the powers that they've been able to harness. And they're real, man. I'm just telling you. I'll take you $1 to a donut, and I quit eating donuts. But it's all there's something there. If you really think that there's nothing there, man, I don't know what I'd like to sell you.
Yeah.
But
if you think it's not real, if you think we're imagining this, find another show. Because this is reality. It's a fact.
we don't get many ball-busters on here, though.
No, but
Every once in a while.
But back to the whole Nietzsche thing, ETs are a fact. Okay.
Okay.
All right. There's no denying that. The proof has been here for forever, and it's here every month with us.
Right.
If not in the interim. That's a fact. That's not an opinion. So, take that to the bank.
Well, there you go, buddy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you've spent another hour with Lou Angelwolf and Mike Murburg here at the studio at Area 52 in beautiful Darby Ranch. If you want to reach out to Mike, DarbyRanchCE5 at gmail.com. He'll direct you to the meetup page. You can look at Darby Ranch CE5 on Meetup if you're already there. Fill out the paperwork, fill out the protocols, understand what you're asking about, and we'd love to see you. If this is the kind of stuff that interests you, we couldn't be more flattered, and you found your bees, man. So, did you ever get that video I sent you? That no rain video with the bumblebees and the...
Yeah, that's cool.
Did we post it?
No,
No.
I don't know.
Oh, we might have forgot to post it. If you want to watch something that makes you feel good, there's a band called Blind Melon, and their official video to No Rain is a great little story, and it makes me happy. In fact, it makes me cry every time I watch it.
That could have been a great, cream donuts, and that could have been Melon Camp. We could have done
Melon Camp.
Sorry.
Little cream donuts for you and me.
Inside joke. Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, LLC.
Those were funny.
The Iggy Pop and the...
Iggy Pop and the Three Stooges. Yeah, our friend Deb...
Deb Holiday, yeah.
Deb Holiday posted a thing is you add one word to the name of a band. And it's very funny. We'll go ahead and put it up later for our site. Yeah. I have the little bean.
Yeah, do that. My first one was Pink Floyd Mayweather. It's a lot of fun. Try it.
Yeah, it is. I came up with semi-Metallica.
Or Metallica spray paint. I'm sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to imho.love. Like we say every week, use your head, trust your gut, but your heart will take you home. We love you. It's a privilege to share this time with you. Like, subscribe, share, import, export, keep it, don't keep it. Tell your friends, don't tell your friends. What you do is not up to us, but you're welcome to do anything you like with this content. And
as long as you're consenting adults.
That's right. Yeah. Well, yeah, we don't. Yeah, that's a given. So, thank you so much, everybody. We love you guys. You guys are great.
I got another one, Queen Latifah. Stop me, please.
Stop me if you heard this one. We're going to finish it now. Hey, everybody. Hi, Nanette. Hi, Kathy. Kathy says Nietzsche's cool, bro. Debbie and Mark. Nice. Look at all the happies and the loves. Love you guys. See you next week.